Hello there, Narek is here. Today I'm gonna solve the exercise 1 of second session 2018 chemistry, which is related more or less to atoms, plus there is a part which is related to organic chemistry, but it's mainly atom. So let's start. The unpleasant odor of fish. The unpleasant odor of fish is partly due to the formation of a volatile compound, the methylamine, of molecular formula CH5N. To reduce this odor when cooking fish, vinegar, which is a solution containing ethanoic acid, is often added. Document 1 represents two histograms showing the number of occupied energy levels and the number of valence electrons of the atoms nitrogen and carbon C and hydrogen H. So by referring to document 1, we can actually find out that nitrogen is occupying two levels, K and L. Carbon, the same thing, K and L, two levels. As for hydrogen, is one level, which is K, of course. On the right side of this document, we have the number of valence electrons. So nitrogen has 5 valence electrons, carbon has 4, and hydrogen has 1. So from this document we can deduce the electronic configuration or the electronic structure of each atom, nitrogen, carbon, or hydrogen. Correct. By referring to document 1, correct the following propositions. The Lewis electron of symbol hydrogen is H with 2 electrons. Actually, it's false. It should be H with 1 electron, simply because you have hydrogen has 1 electron of 1, the number of valence of electron is actually 1. Carbon element belongs to the 4th period, row 4 in the periodic table. So in order to find out it's which period, I have to check the number of energy levels which is related to carbon. So we have 2, so automatically it will be row 2 and not row 4. Determine the atomic number of nitrogen element. In order to determine the atomic number of nitrogen, we have to go to the electronic structure. So we have nitrogen, it belongs to second row. It has the number of energy levels is 2, plus we have 5 electrons, valence electrons, so 5 valence electrons. From this I can deduce that the electronic structure is K2L5. So the number of electrons will be 2 plus 5, which is 7, and it will be equal to Z, which is of course the atomic number, simply because the atom is neutral. Write the Lewis structure of the molecule CH5N. The first thing that you should be doing is to write down the carbon atom, which is linked to the nitrogen atom, and nitrogen, which has of course the ability to make 2 bonds. It will be hydrogen and another hydrogen. And as for the remaining part, carbon, carbon, it will be hydrogen, hydrogen, and again another hydrogen. So this is the Lewis structure of the molecule CH5N. Document 2 represents the Lewis structure of the ethanoic acid molecule. By referring to document 2, give the molecular formula of ethanoic acid. So you need to simply count the number of carbons, the number of oxygen, and number of hydrogen. So as you can see, you have 2 carbons, 2 oxygen, and 4 hydrogen. So it will be C2O2H4, or you can simply say, since it's an organic, it's a carboxylic acid, so you will have to say that it's CH3COOH. By mentioning that you have COOH, it means that it's a carboxylic acid. Specify the type of chemical bond between the carbon atom and each of the 2 oxygen atoms in the ethanoic acid molecule. So we have first this bond, which is single covalent bond. so it's a single covalent bond. And as for this bond, it is a double covalent bond. So in the first case, the oxygen is sharing its one electron with the carbon, so we have a pair of electrons which are shared. That's why we have single covalent bond. And in the second case, we have the oxygen which is sharing two electrons, two pairs of electrons from both sides, carbon and oxygen. That's why we have a double covalent bond. Deduce the valence of oxygen atom. So from the double covalent bond, I can deduce that the valence is 2. As for the first one, where I have single covalent bond, I have to check with oxygen. It has one single covalent bond with carbon and one single covalent bond with hydrogen. So it has 2 electrons, so its valence is 2. So oxygen has 2 electrons which can be shared. The valence will be equal to 2. By referring to the text, indicate the solution that should be added to reduce the unpleasant odor of cooking fish. It's very simple. You have to say that it's the vinegar that you should add, which contains, of course, the ethanoic acid. That's all for this video. This was the first exercise related to the second session of 2018 chemistry. I'm gonna ask you to subscribe to my channel because I'll be uploading new material, new videos, or even solve new sessions. So you'll be notified whenever I upload them. I can also share with you my Instagram and Facebook account. You can contact me directly, or why don't you leave a comment below. That's all for this time, and see you later.